Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, folks, we told you earlier today in one of our videos and during our live show that the International Monetary Fund was involved in potentially all of the markets were looking at a new reserve currency. Well, the IMF executive board has just completed a review of the SDR basket, and it will include the Chinese currency. Matter of fact, let me take you right now. The New York Times has a report. I'll play it now on the announcement. Then I'll read to you the International Monetary Fund memo, and let me break it down for you.
The IMF's executive board decided that the renminbi qualified for the SDR basket under existing criteria. The addition and the inclusion of the renminbi in the SDR basket of currencies is a recognition of the significant reforms which have been conducted, of the significant opening up of the Chinese economy, of the financial, more market-driven principles that are being used by the Chinese authorities going forward. That is clearly symbolic, in a way, of all those reforms, which is why as I associated the renminbi's inclusion with the reforms conducted and to be continued.
So basically what the story is here is that no, we do not have an announcement of a new reserve currency replacing the dollar. Not yet. But instead, this might be step one. I think step one was actually this summer when the new BRIC nations formed, and we're talking about bringing forth a new currency. The BRIC nations, of course, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, they have come together and formed a new coalition of a currency. They haven't brought forth a new currency, but they have formed a new banking system similar to the IMF, and that's the International Monetary Fund, which is supposed to be lending money out to especially impoverished nations to help balance out the global scale economy. We know that today the 145 world leaders were in Paris, France, talking about climate change. But no doubt, you don't get 145 world leaders together just to talk about smog and fog and carbon footprint of a hog. I mean, that's not what they're talking about. Syria, the Middle East region, no doubt, and mostly they're talking about the reserve currency. And let me just read to you right now, the Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, today just completed the regular 5-yearly review of the basket of currencies that make up the special drawing right. And now China has been added to the basket. Now, who's in the basket? Well, this is who they are. There were 4 currencies: the United States dollar, the euro, the Japanese yen, and the British pound. Those were the 4 currencies that make up the basket. Those are the 4 that set the bar, if you will. Well, now the IMF has added a 5th currency, and that is the Chinese currency. And so what we're going to see here now, I believe it's, again, we've had the BRIC nations have already formed, and now China's in that BRIC. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. That's the BRIC. Now China's added to the basket, and next is the Chinese currency might be what replaces the US dollar as the world reserve currency, or they'll leave the dollar in another year maybe and bring forth a new world currency, which could either come from the basket, which could be called the New World Order dollar, the Illuminati, the Illumadollar, whatever you want to call it, or it could come from the BRIC nations. I don't know. But we're seeing, folks, watch what I'm telling you. You can't get 145 nations to come together like you are this weekend in Paris, France, unless it's something big. And I'm telling you, Paris, France is where this attack was done by these radical Islamic jihadists. And now the nations, the leaders of the world are there. They are pulling together to create, I believe, the New World Order. It's the beginning of the mark of the beast system. Not the mark of the beast yet, but the system itself. The technology exists. Believe me, the technology is ready to go. I've talked to federal employees who have they have seen it, and it's seen it tested. They know there is a microchip technology system that is absolutely theft proof as long as you use biometrics. It ties in, your DNA ties into the chip, or it won't work. Without you, it won't work. In other words, without it, this mark, you can't buy or sell. So the technology that could be used for the mark of the beast is ready to go. Now the currency must be chosen. And then I believe the third thing you'll see will be the New World Order itself. And so this is how quickly we're advancing, folks, in these last days. Big news here. And we'll keep our, again, I've talked to J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, several high-level bank employees, and a certain employee for sure who told me, I will not reveal her name, but that certainly the new software being released out to the banks do not have the U.S. dollar as the automatic world reserve currency. It's blank. In other words, whatever currency needs to be added in could. And now that doesn't mean the U.S. dollar won't be put in there, but they're talking about it right now, folks. John F. Kerry brought it up when the Iranian nuke deal was being hammered out. At one point, he said, guys, if we back off and not do this Iranian nuke deal, they may just pull the dollar out and it no longer will be the world currency, the new reserve world currency. They may pick another one. He said it himself. I sat and watched him say it. So you got to hear me when I'm telling you. The New World Order is coming. The spirit of the Illuminati, the biblical beast, is about ready to rise. The black horseman of the apocalypse is galloping with a pair of balances in his hand. Are you saved? Jesus is coming soon.